Let's talk about breathing for birth. I'm sure many of you have heard that harnessing the power of your breath during your birth can help you move towards a positive birth, but why is the breath so key? Put simply, your breath is probably the most readily available and easily accessible tool that you have when it comes to managing your surges and riding the intensity of your birth experience, no matter what birth experience you end up having. The reason the breath works so well during birth is because breathing slowly and consciously, number one, boosts your oxygen levels within the body, so obviously that's great for your baby. And number two, helps you stay calm and focused and keeps you in your parasympathetic nervous system, the system that enables the body to stay relaxed. When your mind and body are relaxed, you tend to feel less pain. Your sensitivity to pain softens, lessens, versus when we're anxious and our body is tight, we tend to brace against strong sensation, and that increases our sensitivity to pain. Little caveat, just because breathing slowly and consciously might keep you calm, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will or should be completely silent or zen-like as you breathe your baby out, just that you'll be focused and not overly fearful or anxious about what is actually happening. It's such an incredible asset because it's always there for you, and all you need to tap into its magic is a few simple pointers. Now, when I teach breathwork to my clients, either in our hypnobirthing courses or in the yoga for birth classes, I tend to steer away from teaching too many techniques. There are so many breathing for birth techniques out there, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but sometimes trying to remember lots of different rules and concepts can bring you out of your body and into your head, not really where you want to be during childbirth. So instead, I try and encourage my clients to find an intuitive breath. For some people, counting the breath or being counted in by their partner is perfect, exactly what they need to stay grounded, stay focused. But for others, counting the breath might almost trap the breath and prevent it from being as free as it needs to be. So finding an intuitive breath is simply finding a breath that suits you, that feels natural for your lung capacity, your pace, your rhythm. Oxytocin, the key birthing hormone, is produced mostly on the exhalation breath, and the exhale has a magnificent quality of release, of softening, of letting go. Recognizing the wave-like quality to the breath is really useful because it matches the wave-like quality to your surges. They build, they peak, and then they subside. Having a relaxed body, a soft jaw, also really key when we're breathing. We want to keep the jaw relaxed, therefore keeping our pelvic floor soft. If you're not quite sure about the connection between the jaw and the pelvic floor, you can check out my video on the pelvic floor. Keeping the jaw soft, keeping the body relaxed, two key things when we're breathing. And I think those two things are way more important than trying to remember a different technique for every stage of your labor. I have three simple approaches to the breath, and they all have the same premise: a long exhale and a relaxed body. And we're going to do these three approaches now, just briefly, so you can get a feel for what they are. The first one I simply call the extended breath, and you can do this by counting yourself in or getting your partner or both partners to count you in. You can breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. We're going to close our eyes, relax our shoulders, and just find a comfortable place to sit. And as you're ready, take a slow, long breath in through the nose for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Opening the eyes when you're ready. Now, who can't say that that doesn't relax you a little bit? Just slowing down your breath and lengthening your exhalation. Now, you can extend that exhale for a count of 8 or even longer if that works for your lung capacity. Equally, you could slow down or speed up the way you count, so it's useful to practice with your partner if you're going to be using that extended breath, that counting of the breath. I say exhale through nose, it can be through the mouth as well, but it works better if we shut our lips and breathe through slightly parted lips, and we're going to do that now. I call this the candle breath. That's not my name. It's also going to be called the golden thread breath, but all we're doing is allowing the exhale to be extended by slightly pursing the lips and breathing out through slightly parted lips, as if you're trying to flicker a burning candle flame. I'll just do this a couple of times. So when you're ready, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Take a slow breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth with slightly parted lips. Breathing in once again. And exhaling through the mouth with slightly parted lips. And I'll carry on talking, continue with this practice. The beauty of this breath is how the exhale just spirals out of the mouth, and you might tally this with a visualization. The exhale is drawing out with it any intensity, any powerful sensation that you want to leave the body. The last approach that I take to the breath is, again, very simple. In through the nose, out through nose or through mouth, depending on what feels right for you in the moment. But the idea is we're sending our energy down. So this works with the energies in the body. In yoga we call downward flow of energy apana vayu, the vayus being the winds in the body, and apana being downward and outward. And you could say that giving birth is the biggest downward outward movement of energy you're ever going to do. So working with that downward flow can be really useful. So closing our eyes, relaxing our shoulders, our jaw, a slow breath in through the nose. And a long breath out through nose or through mouth with those slightly parted lips, but imagining the energy is drawing down in the body. So visualizing a downward flow. You might even visualize your baby moving down in the birth canal. Now, all of these breath practices are great for all phases of your labor, but you could say this one's quite useful for the opening phase when you're bringing your baby down, down, down to move towards your pushing phase. And visualizing that downward flow can be really useful. Our thoughts become our reality. So eyes closed, exhale a downward flow of energy. Downward and outward. I'd love to hear how you got on with those 3 breath approaches. It's really great to practice. Practicing is really key, especially if breathing slowly and consciously is not natural, habitual for you. We tend to always breathe up in our chest, and we spend a lot of our time not thinking about how we're breathing. So sending our breath to land a bit lower in our bodies and practicing that slow breath is key. So when it comes to your birth, it becomes a very natural, habitual state to drop into. If you are pregnant and you want to practice these 3 approaches with me, I have a free MP3 on SoundCloud, Theta's Breathing for Birth. Please check it out. Through it, we practice all those 3 approaches, and we go a little bit deeper into the value of the breath and how it can really help you manage any type of birth that you end up having. Take a look. I hope you enjoy. And if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more like this, let me know. I look forward to seeing you next time.